Comrades, welcome to episode 23 of the Quamfy Show. Today is the day that Quant actually broke out of its 9 month downward channel ever since all-time high.
The
Um,
baby has been born.
yeah, so the whale is out of the channel and heading towards the ocean, which is really interesting. We're definitely going to have a look at that. Also, Greg Lunt made a tweet storm based on the Hungarian Horntail research. Um, and we think that this correlates a lot with what's happening right now, besides the retail action. So we're going to have a look at that. Also, Quant was in the news last week a couple of times. Um, they were named by, oh my God, Oracle. They had an AltFi article. They had an Fast Company article. And I am a little brain fogged due to COVID, hence why I'm wearing my old headset. I also have, I'm going to show you this, fancy new shinies. So this is a wireless mic that I usually wear here from now on, and some fancy new earbuds from Sony. But since I have a lot of coughing and sneezing and crying going on, you can actually hear my joints creak if I move. Now I can mute this mic fairly easily, so I can spare your eardrums a little bit. Um, so I'm gonna do my best to be as coherent as possible. Maybe we'll be even better than usual since I'm actually aware of being brain fogged. Who knows? We'll see. So it's going to be an exciting show. Tim, how's
Yeah,
life?
that's pretty good. Uh,
Pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah. I mean, it's who doesn't love a nice day of green? Although I'm wearing a red shirt.
I
Uh,
got red too.
yeah, you're
Hashtag
comfy.
Quamfy.
Yeah, well, no, I feel really comfy today. Who doesn't love a bull market and a bear market?
Yeah,
It's that's nice. Although it feels kind of bad because I sold a bit of my quant at the absolute bottom. Uh, that feels sad, but I did find another opportunity today, so that money is whoop in the market again. It's being invested, and I think I have an amazing opportunity there.
nice.
So we will
We'll,
see
we'll,
what happens.
we'll talk about that in the end, right?
Yeah, yeah, sure. But I do feel comfy. How are
Good.
you? Yeah, you have COVID.
Yeah. Last episode we recorded on Tuesday, and I was talking about how the entire system here is in shambles. Nikita had COVID, Leon had COVID, Damien, it's our 5-month-old son. Um, Smoke, no, had sorry for that. Um, had a fever, and Smoke has a hot spot on his head, and he should not scratch it. Hey, because the idiot bumped into a tree or something like that, and then he just can't stop scratching it. So it's like a growing thing on his head. Um,
Oh dear.
yeah, I went to the vet and he had antibiotics, and he had some antibiotic spray which also prevent itching, and he had a shot to keep the itch down. But he's a
So,
retarded ass boxer, so he's yeah, something else. So yeah, the entire system is in shambles at the moment, which is not ideal, but
no,
the
can I
show
imagine?
goes on.
Yeah, the show must go on, but
Yeah, so every now and then
uh,
when you hear me call Smoke no, then he needs to stop doing shit that he shouldn't be doing. And apologies for your eardrums in advance. I'll mute the mic if I think of it.
yeah,
But besides
yeah,
that, everything is comfy, man.
yeah. It's
I
I mean, everything is in shambles at your side, but it could have been worse if we were on the bottom and we were
yeah,
actually moving on the way up. Let's start there. Let's look at the price action, shall we?
okay, you're in gear.
I mean, then we have that settled. Everyone is here for the. Who doesn't love price action? We all love TA, don't we? We all believe in the TA. We all believe in the meme lines.
Okay,
Ah,
so what we have here,
that
what we
was
have here,
sarcasm, by the
what
way.
we have here is Coingecko. Let me refresh this motherfucker. $95. This should be in euros. Yeah, 95 euros.
Actually, it doesn't really matter anymore whether you look at it in euro
Yes,
or in
it
dollars.
does. I
Does?
yes, I hate burger tokens. No. Um so yeah, dollar euro in 2022 it happened again, and the dollar is worth a euro. I say again, but that's not entirely true. Oh well. So when we look at the quant chart, and I put it on the 30-day, what you can see here is the linear graph, and you can see quant 16th of June, touching 40. This is where Tim bought, sold.
Sold. Hey, don't offend me like that.
No, I'm sorry. And from then on, if I put it to log, it's pretty much
I
the
did it
same.
for you guys. I did it for you. I took one for the team.
Took one for the team, yeah, for sure. And what you actually see is pretty bullish price momentum. We had a top on June 26th, then we went down a bit, 47 euros, dollars, and that's where everybody with a little bit of his inner bear engaged was calling for 20. It was a dead cat bounce, and then we created a top on July 9th, 85 euros. Then the top on July 10th, 86. We went down. Everybody was calling for 20 or at least 40 again. And here, looking at the 24 hours, we spiked today at 95.48. So that's really nice. And what is also interesting is volume. If we look at the volume right now, then you can see that volume was a little bit up June 20th, June 19th. Then it went kind of flat again. So up, meaning it was around 60 million. And then it went down to its kind of regular 20 million. Then the volume climbed up to 100 million on July 10th, and it kind of held there for 2 days, died down a bit, down to 50. That was when at the 50 million volume, we reached the peak of 85. That was on Monday the 11th. And right now we are in about 90 million volume, price 95. So I think that's decent as far as my TA and volume versus price action knowledge goes. But 24 hours, look at that graph. It's
Look at that.
yes,
Nice and spicy.
it's really nice. And if we're gonna look
Nice.
at where Quant is right now in the rankings, they're ranked 45 on Coingecko, and on CMC, I believe we even touched 42 for a bit. At least I shared a screenshot of that.
Yeah, we bottomed quite a bit. I was actually really. I mean,
We
my
bottomed?
stomach. You said 42.
Yeah, I know. I meant rank 42.
Oh,
Thought-
rank
I
42.
talked about
Oh,
the ranks. Yeah.
I thought you were
So
talking
so
about
we're
dollars.
rank
No,
40, rank
definitely
45 on
good.
CMC as well. Yeah, volume same, almost 100 over the 24 hours, and price is also similar as can be expected. We
Yeah,
prefer
I think.
CoinGecko though. Yeah.
Can we look at it, the ranks, the
Yeah,
ranking?
sure.
On
Yeah,
Quant?
sure.
Sorry, I
Let-
was doing two things at the same time. I shouldn't be doing that while on the show. But this is the Quamfy show. This is what you can expect.
Yes.
Okay,
Welcome
so yeah,
aboard,
welcome aboard.
mate.
Welcome to the asylum.
Yeah, exactly. So Bitcoin right now is at almost 400 billion market cap, price at 20.6K, with a volume of 27 billion, which is pretty low for Bitcoin if I remember correctly. ETH is at nearly 1200,
I mean,
140
Bitcoin's
billion.
volume. Sorry, sorry for
No,
interrupting you, but
go ahead.
Bitcoin's volume always ranges between like 25 and 50 billion, right? So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
this is on the low side of the spectrum, I think.
yes. If we look at market caps, what was our highest market cap we ever reached? That 6 billion?
No. I mean, we reached $420, so
Yeah.
it's like 360 euro.
Yeah, that's 6 billion. Quick math.
6 billion.
Yeah, maybe I fucked up a zero, but the first number is correct. So we're at 6 billion at the peak.
Oh dear.
So 6 billion would put us on position 14, 15. So that would
Yeah, okay,
be
fair enough.
Polygon Avalanche territory right now. Tron, dare I say it. And even SHIB is down to position 13 on the rankings. Fuck is Chainlink still doing at 25? Anyway,
CCIP, friend.
yeah, Quant
CCIP. Yeah.
1.3 bill, rounded up, of course.
That's so juicy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the general vibe in crypto is very odd because we are moving upwards again. But when I speak to a lot of normal people around me, just people who are not in the asylum of being in crypto all day, looking on Telegram.
The uninitiated.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
They don't really care about crypto at the moment. They're like, yeah, who knows? Maybe I invest, maybe I don't.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
That's a general vibe, and I think you told a similar story today.
Yeah. I contacted a friend of mine who I spoke about 3-4 months ago, maybe a bit longer ago. Initially, told him about QNT when he said he was in crypto, and told him about QNT. Sent him the information package as I do with some links and stuff and where they can get it. And then like
The starter pack.
Yeah, exactly. And a month or so back, he's like, "Hey, dude, you still into the QNT thing? Yeah, yeah. Send me the stuff again." So I did, and I decided to reach out today because we were going to break out of that downward channel we were in for 9 months. I was like, "Dude, price might get more interesting. It doubled since the last time we spoke. Maybe you want to get invested." And he's like, "No, no, no. I'm gonna have a look at that after summer. I'm not really into crypto right now." I'm like, "Okay, what else? What else is there to do?" Everybody
Well,
gets their quant back for the price that they deserve.
yeah, and I agree. I think I feel the same with my friends. On the other hand, it makes sense. We are witnessing inflation
uh, sure.
levels of around what was it? It was on the news this week because everyone suddenly cares
Yeah,
about the inflation.
the
It's like
CMI.
9%. The CPI, I think, the
No,
Consumer Price Index.
Um.
I think it's CPI, the Consumer Price Index.
Okay.
Anyways, inflation is around 9% at the moment, which is a lot, and
Well,
life is getting really
9.1
expensive.
was the verdict, right?
Yeah, and no matter how you frame it, life's very expensive for most people. So I can imagine that they don't really have that much money on the side,
Yeah.
especially it's summer. So even for myself, I'm spending most money in the year I spend during the summer. You go on holidays, you do nice stuff with friends. It's more tempting to just spend a lot, have a nice time, and usually you don't really have that much on the side. So I
Yeah.
do get it. I do understand, but when you understand that kind of mechanisms, you also understand that investing right now is, or maybe not in quant. I'm not sure about the current the
We.
short term here.
w- w-
Uh, on the macro, obviously, this is still a great time to buy, and nothing is wrong. It's just that
oh.
when you see such a sudden spike in price action, but you get my point, right?
Yeah, definitely. And it boils down to the same thing as always, and that is people are uneducated and people have no clue what's going on. And also, people cannot think beyond their next paycheck, and most of the time, even shorter than that. And that's why investing is not for most people, and that's why most people lose money. Example, right now I am in 3 projects, including the Quamfy show. So I have the Quamfy show, I have Galileo, and I have that other project that I'm not willing to talk about yet. Um, and that takes up practically all of my time, um, together with the family and stuff. So it's pretty intensive, and that's okay because I love doing it. What does it pay me? Nothing. I do not earn money yet from the Quamfy show. We're going to be running ads in the future. I want you to know that now while we're on the subject. But it doesn't earn me money yet. This just costs money. we're hemorrhaging money. That's like no,
And
that's
it's
not.
even worse because he has to talk to me, which is even more draining. Can
Yeah.
imagine.
Well, your voice is pretty appealing,
Yeah,
but
true. But the person behind the voice isn't.
no, 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 no,
I
no.
get
And
tired of
so,
myself.
but all these projects, they are investments in my future, and I invest my time right now. I am building something. I have also look at my Telegram history. I think I have a pretty decent reputation, a good reputation in the community. I think I invested a lot of time. I think a lot of people can get behind that, and that is paying dividends right now by sharing this, by my inclusion in the other companies. Those opportunities came up because people knew me there. And where I'm getting at, I'm gonna make my point, is my family and the people around me like, dude, you're still on your phone, still the crypto shit. Shouldn't you get a job? Shouldn't you do something else? Shouldn't you XYZ? Um, oh, so what? You're selling your QNT, but you said you would never sell. And people don't understand that choosing to not sell my time to somebody else, because eventually money buys you time, or it costs you time, depends on how you look at it. And for me, not being in a day job working for someone else means I have a lot of extra time, means that I have a lot of extra bandwidth for my own things,
Yeah,
meaning that I can do what I like. And doing what we like generally, usually, gives you a lot more positive incentive and better results. So yes, I quote unquote wasted 3 years, 2, 3 years in researching quant and learning about crypto, and now I'm wasting, in quotations, my time ever since November with this YouTube channel that doesn't pay me shit. And now I'm also wasting time with 2 projects that don't make me money. And that's my mother-in-law speaking. If you hear this, I know you don't speak English, but you are wrong. Um, but people don't get it. People don't get that it takes sacrifice to reach a certain vision, and not everything is going to pay out. I had tons of projects. I mean, I do have a track record of stuff not panning out the way I want. I usually get bored pretty quickly, but this is working out pretty well right now, and everything is falling into place. And in the end, eventually, it will begin paying dividends. And
yeah,
what was the point that I was trying to make? Normies, 99+% of people, do not invest because investing requires a large time horizon, and investing requires research, making a plan, and sticking to it, and knowing what happens when
yeah,
markets go down. Sure, there might be a time to sell, but if you bought a project that you know through and through, and that you are aware of what they're trying to achieve and in what time frame they want to achieve it, um, then you know that it most likely is temporary, and you will
yeah.
not sell. But most
No,
people get scared, they sell, and that's why retail loses money.
yeah,
And and this could be a snippet.
absolutely. It should be a snippet.
Yeah. So uh, that is usually the bottom line, and that is why people don't invest right now, because right now people can only see the bottom. People can only see doom and gloom, and everything is terrible, and everything is dying. But this is the moment where people should be thinking, okay, I saved some money probably. Maybe
Yeah,
I should start investing. Tim.
yeah. No, I mean, I was just listening to you, and I think yeah, you make great sense in what you say, and um, we are both different persons. We are like 180 degrees
Yeah, yeah,
different in any
yeah,
sense.
yeah,
But still, I think we have common ground here.
yeah.
Because well, yeah, obviously I'm young. I'm still just working, building out everything. But instead of just working and stopping there, I'm also investing my time researching crypto,
Yes.
doing this. And sure, I have a 9 to 5. Actually, I work in government. They don't really work 9 to 5. They just drink coffee all day.
No, but you truly are the exception to the rule. And
Yeah,
sorry for interrupting,
no,
but we see in quant more of these exceptions to the rule. People that don't just dabble, but actually do research and look ahead and see where everything is going, and they do their job. So some thrive at their job, some just go through the motions. Um, but this is not at all. I mean, most of the groups we're in, the smaller groups, the people that are in there are not the average. They are the 1% of the room that they are in general.
Yeah, true.
And it kind of, how do you say, gives a bit of a strange perspective, because we think this is the norm because we are in this, but it is not. Most people are just
No, for
happy
sure.
with
Yeah.
their day to day, and
Yeah.
at least they think they are.
And I mean, they probably, and if they are, that's great, right? Everyone should do whatever they like. It's
Yeah, of
just
course.
that um, I have always felt like, okay, by just working, I'm not gonna make it just because of the macroeconomic environment. I mean, I can manage to look into the future, and sure, I'll probably, if I just continue what I'm doing right now, I'll probably end up pretty well. It's just like, yeah, well, I may start investing, and um, I I also have the ability to, when I do something, I always go 100% into it. I'm not doing things on the side. So
Hmm.
that's what happened exactly with Quant. I just got obsessed. You guys lured me into this, and now I'm here recording this podcast with you.
Giving back to the community.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's a really fun thing to do at the end of the day, because, well, we know it's going to be a long road until 2025 or even longer. Your perspective is a bit shorter than mine, but the consensus is 2025, 2030, something along those lines. And it's going to
Yeah.
be a long road. It's going to be a really interesting road. I was just looking at the number of holders a year ago. I actually did a post because I remember July 2021 to be a very bullish month. So I did a post today on quant updates of 1 year ago, and we actually got listed on crypto.com a year ago today,
Oh,
and we were around 19,000 holders a year ago today.
yeah,
Uh,
we're at 60 right now, something like that. Let's
yeah,
see.
yeah.
Let's
So the
what's
ride is really interesting, and what you were saying, I noticed on the road there is that the people that stay are either the people that I told to stay and I said, okay, don't care about crypto anymore, or the people that actually do their research, stick around, just work their regular job, know how to invest, know that it's going to take a long while, and just love the project.
hey,
Those people stick around.
the
Yeah,
supply on CoinGecko.
yeah,
It's correct, isn't it?
it is.
Maximum.
Yeah,
Well, wasn't that always
yeah, it was
45?
always an issue, and it was always a lot of fun.
Oh, so fat finger
I'm
here
not sure
now.
how that was in the past though.
Yeah, I believe, or was that Coin Market Cap that still displayed the old 45? No, this is also max supply, total supply. So it's fixed.
Yeah, people, you have a supply of 14.6 million.
Yeah, 14,612,493.
Yeah,
Oh.
Jarno and me have the 12 in between.
Yeah, so they fixed the supply, which is really cool. Um, sorry for interrupting. And there was another thing. Oh yeah, I wanted to check the year over year because you said crypto.com. I'm
Yup.
curious. I'm curious to see what the effect of the crypto.com listing was. So that was the 14th of July, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That didn't do anything.
Delayed effect, July 20th. That was a pump.
Yeah, but that was the Binance pump.
Was it now? Okay.
That was the Binance pump for sure. We got Binance on the 24th, 25th of July, if I remember. Or a bit
Okay,
the
but this is the
27th of July, something like that.
21st. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the
But
20.
like a week later, we got Binance.
Ah, right. Yeah, I'm messing up the skill of the. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Apologies. Yeah. So interesting shit. Definitely.
Yeah,
Ah, um, we move into Greg.
sure.
Okay, that needs a little bit of introduction. Greg doesn't. Greg's a fucking legend. Follow him, Greg Lunt 27. We're gonna have a look at his thread in a bit. Three-toed sloth, Hungarian Horntail, also a legend. And us, we are also legends. We identified also the potential utility with the increasing wallets with even numbers somewhere in what was that, November, October, when I was like, hey dude, top 500 is increasing. I was like, weird. And then we
Yeah,
found all these 5,000 QNT wallets.
I think the first time we mentioned that, I'm not sure which video,
Yeah,
but the first time we mentioned that was around that time. Sure,
yeah.
yeah.
So there's been some research done, and that actually started last year. You saw on the screen like that Mount Everest climb in price. Tim and I didn't sell because we found the document in Council and we were like, okay, motherfucker, this is utility. There is no doubt. And this is not the top. It is not possible. And then yeah, well, it was a sliding slope from there, but we just broke out of that today. Um, but yeah, utility. That has been the narrative for the last couple of weeks. That it is picking up again, and against all my expectations and prophecies regarding predictability, repeatability, and market manipulation, it seems that that is not really a problem because what happened last year is happening again. And good old Hungarian Sebastian, Sebastian for sure.
Hungarian
Um,
Horntail.
yeah, they have a bunch of wallets under close observation, and the sheer amount of repetitive actions with wallets carrying
Yeah,
the same amount of QNT, and not just the same amount of QNT, no, to the 18th decimal,
yeah,
uh, identical, and being moved in batches that add up to even dollar numbers, and go through a wallet with no ETH in them. So that's like deep freeze in crypto land. If cold storage is a ledger with some ETH, the deep freeze is the ledger that is buried in the garden without ETH, and this appears to be that. Same goes for the wallets that were created last year. No movement. Everything that was there is still in there, and that to me testifies for the fact that price of QNT right now is lower than it was last year, um, meaning that the QNT that got unlocked for a license and a license got renewed, this is speculation by the way, um, means that those QNT can simply be recycled, um, and they need to buy more. So if the price was half of what it was last year, and last year the license needed, let's say, 1,000 tokens, right now that same license we need 2,000 tokens. So that could explain why wallets that expired, in quotations, about 2 weeks ago did not get drained, because there's probably a new wallet created and those QNT values are added to match the license once again. That could also account for the volume that we have been seeing for the last weeks, which
yeah.
is 4 or 5 times last 9-month average. And yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Um, so those are really interesting and fascinating things. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is all speculation at this point, but it does rhyme very, very well. And what is also interesting, and that's what we're going to see probably next year, um, and that is also the entire idea that the treasury and this token model is built upon, is Quant also wants to make a profit. So if the utility becomes more of a flywheel, someone gave that as an example. I can't remember whom, but and it starts aggregating more and more value, means that QNT price can technically not go lower than the previous year. Meaning, the 2,000 QNT that got locked now, double of what was locked last year, are going to be freed up next year when the license expires. If price is 2x of what it is from today, means that they're only going to need to lock 1000 QNT again. The price is 4x, they only need to lock 500 QNT. And that means that the surplus, the other 1500 in the second example, can then be sold for profit or stored in the treasury for use with either other licenses or whatnot. And that is when you start to see that the volatility will go down. For now, if prices year over year are lower, volatility will go up. That's the beauty of this model. It's like a scale. So if prices are down now, volatility kind of goes up. More QNT needs to be locked. Treasury has no choice. They need to buy from the open market. They don't care about price because customers pay in fiat. And what you then see the next year, technically, price should be up. Quant should be taking profits, creaming off the excess QNT, storing that in their storage, or potentially selling that on the market to fund their growth. And then you're going to have a real nice ecosystem with tokens in and out of circulation. And what's going to add to that eventually is the remote connected gateways, obviously. And in my opinion, that will create a vacuum in the system regarding tokens on exchanges, tokens on wallets will be put to work because people will want to capitalize on the increased traffic and on the fact that you're going to get paid in QNT. And getting paid in QNT, ladies and gentlemen, is like the only way right now in the entire world that you get paid by anything that has no inflation. Even Bitcoin has inflation, gold has inflation, everything has inflation, but QNT has not. And that alone means that with every transaction you process, your percentage of the supply grows. And if that's not bullish, I don't know what to tell you. So, for the introduction, I think that will suffice.
I was on my way downstairs getting some popcorn because this is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Must be the
you
fever.
mentioned gateways. I almost forgot about them for a bit.
Yeah.
We're bringing up another trauma.
Yeah, can of worms. All right.
Yeah. No, yeah, I fully agreed. This is going to be a snippet for sure. And let's get back to where we started, and that is the wallet activity. Before we go there, before we enter the discussion on Greg and Hungarian and Sebastian and all the great people of this community brings forward, Jarno and I had a little discussion earlier today in the Dutch group. And that was on suspected utility. So we're having this pump today. And I said, well, we should be a bit careful with explaining this as pure utility. And then you said, yeah, but what will make me ever believe that we have entered the stage of utility, right? That's to paraphrase what you just said.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then I replied, yeah, sure. I mean, I think it is utility too, but we cannot be sure at this stage. But what we can do, and what makes me think that this might indeed be utility, is the fact that we can start spotting the patterns that exist. A year ago, for the first time, we saw very irregular movement in wallets. But as it happened last year, we didn't suspect it was utility. Sure, there were people screaming utility, but nobody really could.
I did.
Sure, but you were just one of the baseless hooligans shouting it.
Just guessing.
But but not actually delivering how do I say, like, the evidence. And the realization that it was utility only came later. I think we actually were among the first pioneers who argued back in November 2021, a bit earlier, that there was a very unusual activity going on in the top 1000. That was our first guess, because first we could see QBet, right? When you look in the Quamfy launch, you can see the numbers of wallets that hold 1000 QNT. No, sorry, they're in the top 1000, and the amount of QNT they hold, you could see that go up. And we weren't sure why that was.
I noticed.
And that's where the entire search started.
I noticed it first when I and other people were losing ranks.
Yeah, exactly.
And we were like, wait, what? Are people now buying over XK QNT just straight off the bat within a week? And that's what sent me on a scavenger hunt. Okay, what the hell's going on? And then we found all these. We need to link this video in the charts. Make a note of that. Then we found all these wallets holding the same exact amount of QNT, and I was like, wait, this is weird. Why would anybody do that? I mean, if you split stuff up, that's fine, but to the decimal, I was like,
Yeah.
odd.
I think we kind of created this hypothesis together, right? That we
Mm,
are with some very smart people in a group, and then people started the scavenging hunt. Credits to Hungarian, credits to Sebastian and all.
yeah,
And that is what this story of Greg Lunt is going to be about. That is what we had Hungarian for on the show a couple of months
yeah,
ago.
yeah.
And that was, and sorry, to conclude this point, and then we'll go into the tweet storm. And that is exactly what I said. Well, I think it should be utility, but we will see that starting from now on because we can start comparing patterns. And the more time progresses, the more clear it will get whether this is utility or some wild playing games with us. But as time progresses, it will become
Why?
more clear. That is
Why would why would
sure, sure.
somebody
I agree with you, but for the sake of staying critical, we should not rule out
for the sake
stuff.
of science,
For the sake,
somebody
yeah,
could be
well,
playing with billions of dollars and creating equal amounts of QNT wallets. You're
well,
right.
that's unimaginable with your fat finger, but
Oh
there
man,
are some.
I can't even get the date and time right on the uploads. I mess that up like every other week. I have zero conscientiousness.
Okay,
Oh man,
no,
those errors. You should just
but
let me talk and let me think, but don't let me type.
no,
It's no, it's not gonna work.
no. To conclude the argument, and just the next couple of months are going to be really important for us to study how this works.
Mm.
And we might indeed see more evidence on the treasury being active, and just on-chain activity is going to tell us what direction we are heading for.
Yeah.
Greg Lunt,
So Greg Lunt
Berno, stage is
27
yours.
on Twitter. I summarized the tweet storm in my earlier rant monologue. So we're gonna kind of fly through this. All the links, as usual, are in the description. Even if you're on the podcast platforms, thank you. Have you subscribed already? Did you follow us? Did you leave a like? Did you leave a comment? We really appreciate it. Um, you can find
Did you
everything
click the
in.
notification bell?
Mm.
Bing!
You can find everything in the description, and you can click the links, and it will take you right there if you want to deep dive yourself.
You might
So,
even see your vacation photos.
mm,
Mm.
mm.
Oh,
Anyway,
that's spicy.
did you see the on-chain data presented yesterday by Hungarian in the embedded tweet below? Today, I'll take us deeper into exactly what transpired with this wallet and the QNT token movement that ensued. Um, so this is the Hungarian. Let's do it this way. Let's embed that as well, so you can also get the Hungarian tweet with one click. What you see here is the screenshot from Hungarian on July 10th. QNT was on position 51, and it was the highest gainer on the 1 hour, 24 hour, and the 7-day. Percentage wise, so it was 6%, 25%, and 60% respectively. Second tweet, the primary wallet here, we'll call it wallet 1, was created in January 22, the January year 2022, and has only been active on 6 days. On each of these days, there was a deposit from the Coinbase 2 hot wallet, and within seconds, that money was sent to a second wallet. We'll call that wallet 2. An example. So this past Saturday, that was the 9th of July, in the middle of the bullish price move, Wallet 1 received 1706 QNT from Coinbase. Then, within 1 minute, send that entire amount to wallet 2. There's a graph here. From there, over the course of an hour, wallet 2 withdrew those funds in equal amounts to wallets 3 and 4. Outside of a couple of outliers, all of these transactions were the exact same size down to the decimal place. There's a picture here painting that, and you can also see the time frame on that. I highly recommend if you're interested to look at this evidence. I think it's pretty compelling. The final destination of the tokens, wallets 3 and 4, only hold QNT. I'm going to take a sip of water. It's important to point out that these wallets also hold 0 ETH, indicating there are no plans to move to QNT. And he wrote under there, bracketed, without ETH, the wallet has no gas to make outbound transactions and can only receive funds. Note, unlike wallet 1, wallet 2 receives non-QNT ERC20 tokens as well. But the wallet always behaves the same. Within 1 hour, any deposited tokens to the wallet are withdrawn in equal amounts. This feels like some sort of smart contract, dApp, built for token distribution. Now here's the most interesting thing I found. Look at the last 3 days of activity for wallet 1. On the 31st of March, the 22nd of June, and the 9th of July. The amount of QNT in the batches created by wallet 2 appeared to adjust for the price of QNT at that time, delivering a consistent fiat value. Tim and I also figured this out, not to bang our own drum, but it is interesting when we were looking at one of the wallets highlighted by Hungarian, and we concluded that one batch that got sent there within 1 minute that consisted of 11 transactions, of which 10 transactions, of which one was with a different amount of tokens, but the other ones were all identical to the decimal. And when we added everything up, we came to a total US dollar value of $500,000.
Yeah, exactly. I think we
indeed exactly. I mean, it wasn't exactly, but that's because we don't have obviously the actual real time price of that time, and we calculated it roughly with $92 for that point in time, and with some minimal rounding, $500,000.
That is absolutely fascinating, if you ask me. And that is the kind of stuff we should be looking for. And in your more early analysis, I'm not sure if people did that, but people do now.
Yeah.
So indeed, not to beat our own drum, but we kind of introduced that line of thinking too.
Yeah.
And now it is getting really interesting and juicy.
Yeah. What's even more interesting, because I talked to Hungarian in DMs as well, is he identified thousands, together with Sebastian, of wallets. His wording, not mine. I might have misinterpreted, perhaps. I'm calling this speculation, trying to.
Wait, Mats.
No, but he literally said there are thousands of other wallets like this with the same behavior.
Wait a second, by the way, Jarno. On the right side of your screen, do you see that?
QNT is trending, yes.
Trending.
But I'm not sure if I refresh this today. I can refresh.
But still, is this or Twitter, or is this actually?
Quant is still trending. Yeah.
Let's look for this on a.
This is our Twitter.
Yeah, but it is trending in business and finance right now on Twitter.
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
2,930 tweets. Yeah.
Woohoo!
Okay, so we're moving on. For instance, on the 31st of March, QNT's average price was $141. On that date, each wallet 2 batch size was an average of 44 QNT. That's a total USD amount of an average 6,200. So that's 141 times 44. How does that compare to other recent days of quant utility? Now what you see here is kind of like an Excel blow up, and you can see 4 columns and 4 rows. First column reads the date. Second reads the average quant price. Third, unit QNT size. And the fourth is the unit USD amount. And then the rows are the dates. So the first date on the 31st of March, average QNT price was 141, quant size 44, USD amount 6,200. On the 22nd of June, 55, 113 QNT, 6,215. And on the 9th of July, 80 USD, 84 QNT, 6,720. USD amounts look pretty similar, right? But what is important? Why is that important? Overledger licenses are charged in fiat, then converted to QNT. QNT amounts fluctuate from license to license based on the price of QNT at the time of purchase, as it aims to satisfy a specific fiat value, as we explained earlier. And in this case, whenever wallet 1 received funds, subsequently sent them to wallet 2, it appears wallet 2 creates QNT batch amounts, automatically adjusting for the 67K value. One could argue this is what license activity would look like. Again, QNT token flow across these wallets is Coinbase, wallet 1, wallet 2, numerous HODL wallets. Pure speculation. Coinbase moves to treasury wallets, moves to token distribution smart contract, moves to quant license wallets. And what is interesting for this is this afternoon Tim and I spoke about creating an Instagram quant updates follow at quant updates. We were doing research for a tweet and concluded that the treasury document of 2020 is still valid, but it is old. There's a lot of terminology that changed. And in my personal opinion, mind you, this is my personal opinion, the treasury could have very well left their initial idea of hosting their own treasury wallets. And it might be confusing things or discombobulating. I love that word. I'm not sure how to use it. Because there were community treasury, there were other treasury wallets assigned, but I think that they are now using a third party custody solution. And I'll explain why. If you have to manage the contracts and all these licenses yourself, there could be a conflict of interest. Usually you want a third party to do your accounting of this sort. And if you, for instance, use Coinbase custody or SDX or Gemini or others, then they do the administration. They do all the heavy lifting. And the only thing that you have to do is your core business. So you just have to sell licenses and produce a dashing product called Overledger. And that's what you want to use your time for. And let other people that are specialized in specific things, in this case custody, do that for you. So I think this makes sense. And I think if I understood the initial document correctly, that has changed. And I think that could potentially also, in some way, shape, or form, have effects on the dashboard, but now my speculation goes rampant. So we'll move on. But token distribution smart contract on Coinbase custody going to quant license wallets, that is all auditable at Coinbase. And that means more transparency. Not to you and me. You're not going to see it. You're not going to get it. You're not going to see how many billions of licenses in licenses Quant has sold over the past years.
No.
But the SEC will, and the taxman will, and that is what counts.
Yeah, and we spent a significant share of a previous episodes on Coinbase custody, and we'll link it here, the top of the screen right now.
Excellent. So next tweet. With the amount of wallets created over the last month or so, I don't think wallet 1 is the only wallet being used as a tool to disperse QNT from exchanges to a HODL wallets, but this could be a blueprint. Overall wallet growth has been exponential lately, and there's a graph here and a link to Greg's own tweet that February to May we added 5,400 wallets, and in the last 4 weeks we added another 350, 400. Things are heating up, and the numbers are even more compelling right now.
Yep.
Greg continues with a disclaimer. This could all be totally wrong. I'm honestly just guessing and having some fun with this, but there does seem to be something going on. The token activity is too calculated and appears to be directly tied to the price of QNT. If you want to check these wallets yourself and see if Greg is full of shit, I think, Greg, if you see this, mate, you are selling yourself short. I think your research is way above par, and don't sell yourself short. I understand the disclaimer, but you're doing amazing work, man. So he concludes, are we watching Quant license utility play out in front of our eyes? Is Quant the company facilitating this movement? What are your thoughts? Remember, there are no wrong answers. We're all just speculating, searching for the truth. Yeah, this is amazing work.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. I think this is the kind of second wave activity in the community that we need. First wave was dicking by the people on the console. We're still doing that. They're still sharing articles.
Did you just say dicking? You said dicking in council. I heard that at least. Might be my dirty mind. Let us know in the comments. What did Tim just say? Was it digging or was it dicking? Are they just dicking around in council? Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, so this is the kind of second wave activity that we need. And people like Horntail, that's karma for what you just said, Jarno. He is suffering. God strikes immediately.
I'm dying here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but these guys are putting forward the research and now actually applying that to the on-chain on Ethereum is brilliant. And it will give us so much more leads, and there is so much more to get into.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. It is fascinating stuff.
We're just
Absolutely.
scratching the surface.
We are. And I feel terrible for panic for my stomach that can't handle the heat. But hey.
We live and we learn, my man. We live and we learn.
Yeah, I mean, I did sleep pretty well after that, so that was worth.
Temporary.
I mean, I still sleep well because now the price is going up, and I don't really care anymore. So
right.
All right. Next.
Yeah, a couple of things are going on, and one of the things that's going on is regulation. There's talk about MiCA.
MiCA?
Yeah, that's I forgot. I have it here, but I can't find what.
I know MiCA. That's a singer.
It is MiCA. Why do I forget that? MiCA crypto. It's new regulation proposal. We discussed it in another markets and crypto asset regulation. That's it.
Relax. Take it easy.
Yeah, really zen.
Relax.
Ooh, I shouldn't be doing that. No dancing today. Made me dizzy. That was interesting. Usually I need to drink for that. Yeah, so the Quant tweet reads, the EU is creating an environment which encourages the
I cannot see anything though.
Ah, that's because it's a secret.
But neither do the listeners in the car, so I mean.
You spoiled little Brenna. The EU is creating an environment which encourages the development of blockchain use cases while maintaining monetary sovereignty and control, G. Verdian tells AltFi News at DJ Lanyon. So regulation, and there's a link, and that link leads to the Quant website. There is an excerpt to the article. The entire article is in the description, and we're gonna read through the excerpt. Governments around the world are in a race to determine how best to regulate stablecoins and digital assets. Gilbert Verdian, our founder and CEO, spoke on the impact of. I fucked up that sentence. Sorry. How to best regulate stablecoins and digital assets. Gilbert Verdian, RC founder and CEO, spoke on the impact of the EU's new markets in crypto assets regulation with AltFi's Daniel Lanyon. With the new MiCA regulation, there are enormous issues at stake. Regulators want to create dynamic economies that lead the way for fintech growth and innovation, consumer protections, and the ability to maintain monetary sovereignty. In a new article by AltFi editorial director Daniel Lanyon entitled "In the Bleak Mid-Crypto Winter, a Regulatory Thaw Begins," Quant founder and CEO Gilbert Verdian provided insight into how and why these new regulations are taking shape. First paragraph is modernizing financial services. Gilbert said that, quote, blockchain will profoundly impact financial services, especially in asset management via the tokenization of funds, capital markets, and perhaps most importantly, in payments and money movement, end quote. This emerging technology can substantially lower costs by reducing the need for counterparties and complex processes, enabling new business and revenue opportunities. So this is really cool because this is talking about the tokenization of practically everything, and this is maybe also beating a dead horse or whatever, but everything is expensive in financial markets. Everything takes time. Most assets are not fungible, are illiquid, and so on and so on and so on. So tokenization of stuff, NFTs, can be a lifesaver because then you can actually focus markets and trade with much more liquid pools and even trade assets that aren't fungible or collateralize or whatnot. And Quant has its finger in there as well. QRC20 is I think an example of this, and there are way more projects under the hood or the bonnet that we haven't even heard of, but that are coming. I am thinking that Gilbert and his friends are well on their way helping solving the identity problem. And I think that because I heard Martin talk about that when he was talking with, I don't know her name, with the fat lady, when they were sitting on that couch. And Martin actually said that the biggest hurdle right now for everything to move further, I'm going to close the window in the meantime, is
actually said,
is identity.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't get solved, then there are still problems. So we're gonna need at least the digital identity part, the DID bit, to get sorted. And self-sovereign identity obviously is the holy grail, in my mind at least. I'll love to see your comments if you disagree. But in my opinion, I was thinking about this, is that if that is such a hurdle, then it is actually potentially, this is speculation, people, this is my thoughts, holding back Quant's expansion, their evil plan for world domination. This was a joke. But if that but if that's not solved, no, but if that's not solved, then that's a problem, because all those things rely on that. And we gave the example before in the Netherlands. We have DigiD, and I know that hurts your ears, DigiD, but it's like a digital ID. You have it government. It asks your social security number, and then you can activate that, and you can access everything that you approve on that through a single portal, essentially. And even if you go to your healthcare provider, you can log in with that digital identity, and you are in a safe environment where nobody can get you. To make it really simple. But yeah, everybody is looking how to create a solution like that, either on blockchain or DLT or just on a legacy system, and make that work and make it interoperable, and also make it I don't know, customizable or whatever. I think interoperable is the right word. But as long as that doesn't really exist or doesn't really work, then a lot of the solutions Quant provides are are just on one leg and not on both legs. So wouldn't surprise me at all. Same as that we speculated Quant might create their own blockchain for people that want the one-stop shopping experience and they want to have the trust and the reputation of Quant Network and Gilbert's signature at the bottom. They might as well also maybe working together with other entities create their own digital identity or maybe even self-sovereign identity solution
Yeah.
to make all this more better. Anything to add to that, Tim, or shall I go on?
Not really.
All right.
Go on.
So the impact of MiCA. Take it easy.
There is
There's
nothing
nothing
that
that
you
you
can
can't
do.
relax. Okay. He added that tighter regulations like MiCA should be welcomed. I shouldn't be dancing. Quote, tighter regulations like MiCA should be welcomed as these provide the guide rails for how stablecoins and other digital assets can operate. It's important not just from an operational perspective, but reputationally as well. Many of our customers have told us that clearer rules and guidelines around stablecoin
Stablecoin
backing
backing?
and ESG will spur more business cases to drive investment and adoption, end quote. The regulation, he says, also balances the need for central banks to mitigate systemic economic risk against the need for new commercial stablecoin development and innovation. There are less onerous obligations for smaller stablecoins. NFTs are out of scope. The EU is creating an environment which encourages the development of blockchain use cases while maintaining monetary sovereignty and control. End quote.
Yep.
Um, so we spoke about this also in the last episode. I think that no stablecoin is good enough.
No,
Maybe we can
yeah.
maybe we can add a chart of this as well because this is what this alludes to. Um, Simple example of this MiCA is that if banks want to have crypto on their balance sheet, they need to back that and not one to one as with many other assets, but 1250%. So that's 12 and a half to 1. Meaning if you have one Bitcoin at 100K, you're gonna need 100 Tim.
Yeah.
12 and a
One
half
point.
that amount
Yeah, so 1.2 million.
yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and
Leave the
yeah.
mats.
Yeah,
Anyways,
yeah,
no stable coins are good enough. That's what it boils down to.
yeah.
And
And what was also with this MiCA thing is that they did it. They set some ground rules initially, and they stated that stablecoins should be so stable they cannot depeg from their intended value for more than 1 cent, like 6 times or 8 times, those types of numbers, and that technically every stablecoin in existence right now failed that test, and is not acceptable as being used by banks. That was kind of the boiled down version of that. Am I correct, Tim?
yeah.
Okay. In the description, you can find this in the bleak mid crypto winter regulatory thaw begins. Read this yourself.
Yep.
Let's see what we have here.
And basically, this is something you've been hearing from us since episode 1. Same story, same narrative, blah 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 blah. Read it for yourself.
Yeah, and what's also the same thing over and over, and that never stops, is Quant allegedly doesn't do PR and doesn't do marketing, and that's kind of right, because we have Oracle doing that for us.
I knew you were going here.
Yeah, as you know, Oracle is this little tech company
Yep.
That is like the third biggest.
Yeah, fourth. I'm not sure.
They
It's
they
kind of high.
they're on Formula One
Third.
cars.
Yeah.
They're on Formula One cars, and they're like the fourth biggest software developer in the world, uh, under Microsoft, Apple, and Google. Those three. So they are the big boys, and
Somewhere along that order of magnitude, indeed.
yeah, and then they decided to write another um, tweet, and it reads: Member startup Quant Network is involved in this initiative to promote blockchain-based cross-border cash flow for Latin American economies at Fast Company. And they used an eye emoji, which is really cute. Um, Oracle is shilling us, not for the first time, happens more, which is really cool. Um, this is the article that I just brought up by Fast Company. I have never heard of this. It is dated on July the 13th, 2022. Mosquito. Yeah. Can't bring
Come
myself.
on.
No, can't bring myself to hunt mosquitoes now. So using digital currencies to unlock a continent, Quant's blockchain technology is creating one big global trading network for entrepreneurs. Is this a long article? Yes, this is. No, we'll get to this. The
Are we?
brick. You don't want to? Okay.
I mean, we can skip through
Yeah. Let, let,
the
let's go
get
to
a
the quotes.
general
Let's go to the
idea
quotes.
of what's going on. Yeah, sure.
I really think that cross-border payment is the next agenda. The next frontier, says John Pesme, World Bank's Global Director of Finance, Competitiveness and Innovation, during the Development Podcast. Another international development priority, says Pesme, is to use blockchain to promote financial inclusion and faster remittance. Um, so for many business owners, exporting products isn't hard to entertain the idea of having to wait weeks to be paid. But that's the situation facing entrepreneurs in Latin America. Quote, it comes down to cash flow, and there's a lot of uncertainty. You can't have transparency of where your money is and how long it will take to get paid. So it's a case of wait and see for the business owner. End quote. Gilbert Verdian, founder and CEO of Quant Network, explained. Then, next paragraph, Deloitte gets named, talking about electricity and the Latin American economy.
Yeah. Basically, this article describes kind of the backdrop against which LACchain and Latin American dollar are being developed, and quite interestingly, Quant is mentioned as being a key player in that process. So that's really cool. We are seeing a lot of these kind of articles coming out right now, and I'm not sure why that is, but it's probably Carrier doing his work. He's carrying the team.
Yeah,
Haha.
yeah. Oh man, this article is so full of juice. LACchain uses blockchain and integrates it into the core banking infrastructure, enabling users to receive payments in the form of new digital Latin American dollar straight away and then redeem it as local currency from their bank. Quote, real-time digital assets make getting paid instantaneously. All users need is a phone, says Verdian. Quote, not only will this make it easier for people to send and receive payments, but more importantly, it will allow them to access new markets because LACchain is cross-border. End quote, Verdian explains. This means businesses can not only sell to local customers, but access new ones in the 12 countries where LACchain payments is accepted, helping them grow. Furthermore, the new digital currency will remove a lot of friction and risk when operating cross-border. Quote, you don't have to worry about currency fluctuations because it's all the same Latin American dollar, Verdian explains. His company's technology is instrumental in making this possible. And I like this, and I'm going to read this entirely. It reads a quant dash leap, a quantum leap. They did a pun, The LagChain project began in 2018, but Quant joined in 2021 to solve the problem around cross-border payments, domestic payments, and remittance using its Overledger blockchain platform. I thought that this was XRP's job. Oh well. Quant spearheaded the blockchain ISO standard TC307 adopted by 57 countries and organizations worldwide and solved interoperability with the creation of one of the first blockchain agnostic API gateways, Overledger. It's proved such a hit thanks to use of low code, which enables users to create interoperable smart contracts and tokens more cheaply, easily, and in a matter of minutes instead of months, as it does not require the use of specialized programming languages. Quote, through our Overledger gateway, we enable participants to connect their private, public, and permissioned blockchains to LagChain. Networks and DLTs that were siloed can now connect, end quote, Verdian explains. Interconnected smart contracts and tokens can be used for more than moving money across borders. For example, they can also be used for supply chain traceability by tokenizing inventories and raw materials to track them and ensure products are produced sustainably. So this is awesome, and it goes on. There's here a little bit on the partnership began when Quant joined Oracle for Startups in 2019. It has allowed the scaling startup to tap into Oracle's network of customers, resulting in new clients in the financial payments and energy sectors. Quote, it's a win-win. Oracle gets to differentiate and provide an innovative solution to their customers, and we get to work with Oracle and our customers to solve business problems, end quote. He adds, since the certification of the Overledger Gateway, the two companies have worked together in the IETF and ISO TC307 blockchain interoperability workgroups to advance much needed standards in this area. This is so juiced, Tim, isn't it? Man.
The thing is,
I'm walking with a heart on the entire day already. Otherwise, I would have been feeling a little bit weird right now.
yeah. The thing is, this article just literally writes down what we already know, but it's written down in a magazine that everyone can read on the internet or whatever.
Yeah. As a committed partner, they've brought exceptional expertise and technical proficiency to the project, says Allende Lopez, the LagChain technical leader. Let's see if there's anything else.
I mean, read the last paragraph, like the last part.
This?
Yeah.
As if connecting 12 countries isn't enough, Verdian and LagChain have a bigger vision, where LagChain will be able to connect to other regional DLT ecosystems in America, Europe, Asia, and Africa. Quote, we're seeing the beginning of regional trade networks already, end quote. He says, what Quant wants to see a time when all these closed loop ecosystems are connected in one big global trading network.
This isn't new, but he keeps repeating it. He keeps saying it.
While blockchain technology is still nascent, as more companies, institutions, and governments embrace it, its potential can be fully realized. Then the world is an entrepreneur's oyster.
Good stuff.
Yeah,
But it's that I'm pretty sure that last part is taken from somewhere else, though.
I don't know.
I might just. He always starts about his Bitcoin 2009 treasury.
Yeah, they said the source as of June 2021 LagChain report. That's the article that we covered a couple of weeks back. Yeah.
Anyway, great stuff. And there was one thing that struck me as well. And I've forced you to kind of skip over it, and that's the part where it reads, and you can read this in the description yourself, is that like local retailers, local customers can just use the LagChain app like any other app on their smartphone and connect.
Yeah.
That's pretty brilliant stuff.
It is super brilliant because the barrier of entry is non-existent. If you can if you can download Snake or whatever people play on their phones these days, I know I'm ancient. You can probably install the wallet. Oh, and what we also didn't really say, but that has been implied, is that Quant will be building the Latin American dollar, and it will go live in 2023. So hashtag CBDC confirmed. There is no doubt. This has been confirmed by multiple sources now, and Quant's going to be facilitating the CBDC for South America. And as you
Yeah,
can see, he also wants to connect with the rest of the world.
yeah, and the most interesting part is that somewhere this week that this episode is the latest one. That is the point where 1 year ago Gilbert announced in a video on that they published on Twitter that they are. Oh yeah, by the way, we are building the Latin American dollar, and it's quite exciting. That's 1 year ago now. It's this period. So
Fascinating.
we know this for a year now,
Yeah.
and it gets confirmed more and more and more. And
Yeah.
we even have a time. We even have a horizon when this is going public.
Yeah.
Great stuff, Jarno.
A
Great
deadline
stuff. Yeah.
of sorts. Um.
First
Whew.
CBDC, and they're doing it as we said many times. They're doing it in these kind of more developing, semi-developed countries because they can roll out new technology much quicker.
We're dumping.
Oh
We're
no!
dumping. Look. Look. We went down eh, from 95. We went down to
Pack up your
90
stuff, kids. We just lost the house.
to 93. Oh no. Oh,
Some people might have actually lost the house on that dump.
99999.
Nine, 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 nine.
Yeah. No, I thought I'd do a cryptid doom and
Okay.
gloom.
Next topic.
Anyway,
Where are we
um,
heading?
where are we heading? Yeah, into damnation. One of my projects I named in the beginning is Galileo Protocol, and I want to talk about this a bit. And I work as an advisor for Galileo Protocol. It has been founded by Nathaniel Beauchamp and Pierre, and I forgot his last name. They are both French and QNT holders, and they're obviously comrades. Nat has been an admin in the Quamfy Lounge for years and years. Um, I've gotten to know him personally, and he approached me or actually we spoke, and he told me he was busy with his company. I'm like, dude, if you ever want help, you want a sounding board or whatever, let me know. And that just started getting traction and get rolling, and so I got assigned as a board member. I'm being paid for that eventually, probably. So that's the disclosure on my end. Tim, do you have a disclosure on this?
I do. I did invest today. I'm one of the earliest investors, so everything I say beyond this point, take it with a grain of salt, or
Yeah,
just take an entire, well,
yeah.
take a
This,
shipload of salt. Just
yeah,
be careful. But we are not here to shield.
yeah.
No.
This is obviously going to be a little bit of a tiny little bit of shill, but they are using Quant, and that's why we share it here. Otherwise, I wouldn't have dared to bring it up. So what is going on? Galileo Protocol wants to create NFTs, and don't hang up right now. Stay with me. They want to create NFTs for physical goods, and yes, that is being done. How they want to approach this is they want to make their NFTs multi-chain using QRC20 technology, making it obviously interoperable across all the chains that are connected. Apologies to that. Um, and how are they going to create those NFTs? Well, because anybody can say they own something and create an NFT for that, right? No, they are going to create a network. They're going to create a network with the real world, the legacy world, if you will. For example, Rolex. For example, um, how do you call those things? Other watches, Apple, whatever. Name something, and they are going to add them to their network so that people, if they want to use their 10,000 euro Rolex as collateral for something, they can go to a connected reseller and get their asset um, validated, taxated. Not really sure what the word is in English at the moment. I'm blanking. Um,
Audited,
audited, yeah,
assessed.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they can get a certificate of authenticity and value, um, which they then can add. They have to add.
Maybe we
To,
should go through the white paper. Continue
yeah,
your point.
but which they then can add to their NFT to authenticate this, and I think that is pretty cool. So the Galileo Protocol Twitter, um, and their website. This has come online a week ago, something like that. Um, as you can see, there's a pre-sale. Links to this are in the description. Discord. Here you can see a nice example. NFTs for physical goods. They give an example for a Rolex, a Patek, a Breitling, Jacob and Co. Astronomica. I've never heard of this. I don't care about watches. But this is really cool. And there's an ETH value here on the screen, and you can see that there's some sort of auction going on to describe what the people are seeing here. You can see some of the partners. One is Peeps, XDC, Binance, Polygon, Quant, and Ethereum. Obviously, this is all related to the QRC20. They also partnered up with BlockFi for KYC. KYC is mandatory if you want to join. And they have approached LCX for their token sales and etc. So they're doing it all the right way. No intentions of scamming or going through loopholes or whatever.
No, that is what really stands out to me.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would have never put my name under it for sure. Okay, so we opened the white paper, and it reads Galileo Sol. They are registered as a legal entity in France, in Paris. Develops its application called Galileo Protocol. This protocol allows the creation of trust caps. This word is going to change. That was their working name for tokenized real-world assets. To encrypt, store, and transfer data securely. These trust caps are non-fungible tokens representing physical goods issued on multiple chains, as I described. Pierre Bernardo and Nathaniel Debache. What problems does it solve? Investors seek to store their wealth in asset classes such as real estate, art, and luxury watches in order to protect against inflation and unstable economic conditions. Most of these asset classes are illiquid, and the entrance price is high. Cryptocurrency has become a store of value, but the market is volatile. Additionally, crypto investors do not have access to other physical asset classes unless they exit the crypto market and use fiat currencies to purchase physical assets. And it goes on.
Can I interrupt you for a second, Yara?
Sure.
I'm not sure about your mic at the moment. Just
What is
some.
what is wrong with my mic?
It was a bit.
Was it touching my shoulder?
No, it was not, but it was a bit unclear.
Okay.
How you sounded. Yeah, this is better.
Okay. Perfect. I'd recommend just go through the white paper yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
They used the token. They created the token, the Leox token. Like I said, it's being minted and processed by LCX. Those guys are going to be their third party as Coinbase is for Quant. And like I said, BlockFi for the KYC process. Roadmap Q2. Well, obviously that passed. This is all moved up a little bit. but UX development advisors team where I am on. And then you have the Q3, Q4, the pre-seeds, the seeds, the recruitments, listings, business partners, etc. There's also a Telegram group right now that's being created today. And their Twitter is pretty active. Oh, I'm sorry, boys. So yeah, that's Galileo, and I think these guys, from my experience, they are really serious about what they're doing, and they're working hard. They're super motivated. In my opinion, they try to be as honest and as upstanding as possible.
Yeah,
They're also really
definitely.
enthusiastic. So every now and again, I need to just grab them by the sleeve. I'm like, okay, dude, you need to get that offline. You cannot post the announcement of the announcement with soon in it, blah blah blah.
No.
I know you want to hold back a little,
Yeah.
but no, man, they're really serious. They are educated. They are experienced to the extent that you can be. I mean, be honest. Who is really experienced in this space besides the Gilberts of this world? Um, Everybody is learning. Everybody is just trying stuff out and seeing how they can make the world better, but also make a few dollars. Um, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. But it does mean that there is significant risk. Um, Obviously, all of this is not financial advice at all,
No,
and
please don't take this as financial advice.
this is a high risk project for sure, and just be aware that you can very well lose everything when you invest in this. Even despite the best efforts of the team, there's always risks.
Yeah.
So the
However, and I'm gonna be a bit optimist here. I already told you, take it all with a grain of salt. No, the thing is, um, I just want to come clean. I don't pretend like I know everything. And the thing is still is that they are walking a very interesting way here, because they are doing everything by third parties on the
yeah,
crypto side. So
yeah,
that makes it really interesting. And the fact that we can talk about it safely in the Quamfy show is because they use QRC20. It's one of the first crypto applications embedded by our own community.
yeah,
It is literally using the Overledger service. So I think it's fair to talk about this project here because
yeah,
they are
and they're
using the
going
capabilities of Overledger
and they're going
to,
through the utility of LCX, which is also a partner.
yeah,
Um, so yeah,
that makes it really interesting because they are at the core embedded in the quant ecosystem, which is very enthusiastic. It
Net
is,
Net has helped build this community.
yeah, if you go to quantfreelaunch.com,
Oh.
I think you
Yeah,
will
that's
go to
his.
the quant
Yeah,
price calculator. We can do that right now.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
He built
you
that.
are
That's true.
going, yeah, and it's one of the key features of our community, quantfreelaunch.com, I think it's called. Not sure.
Was it
Let's have a look.
confluence.io?
Oh, .io then.
No, dot. Oh no, here it
Oh,
is. Yeah.
yeah, and you go here, and it's just a quant. This is from one of the founders of Galileo.
Yeah.
So the thing is, Jarno said earlier this episode, the people in this community are literally the 1% in the room, and that is what kind
Hey,
of.
I
Hmm?
told him he needed to adapt this because the market cap should be way higher than 1 trillion. This is FUD. Nat, get your calculator fixed.
Shenanigans. No, uh, what I was trying to say, the people in the quant community are literally the 1% in the room. Like we have a very, very talented community on all sides, on the socials, on a
You,
technical side.
you also have over 9,000 QNT, right? So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So 615 million.
Over 9,000. No, on the social side, on the technical side, on the investing side, there's so much talent in this community, and the fact that projects like these emerge makes it very interesting, and that's my will to invest. And we will be definitely covering it on the show. Please take it with a grain of salt, though. Don't take it
Oh,
as financial advice.
they
But be early, be invited to join these kind of high risk, high reward plays. Might
Yeah.
very well work out.
They have. We'll put the Quamfy Lounge in the description as well. They have an Ethereum address. If you want to leave a quant tip for them, I think they would appreciate that. Just leave one quant.
Yeah,
What's $100,000 amongst friends, right? We
I
also have
know.
an Ethereum address. If you feel like helping out the show, watch our ads in the future, or donate with the Ethereum wallet that is in the description.
Yeah, if you want to
Please,
torture your
please,
neighbor
sir, mi familia. Oh, I'm so ill. Terrible.
or torture your neighbors and just play the ads really, really loud, but then the
Yeah.
ad revenue goes to us. That was it about
Oh yeah,
Galileo.
please never terminate our videos. When you're done watching or you get bored, just leave your phone and just let it run. Same with on your smart TV, just let it run. Really helps the show. No, I shouldn't be asking that. That's illegal. I'm sorry, don't do that. I was joking. It's the fever talking. You
Shall we
cannot
call an episode?
yeah, you cannot promote people to do these malicious things. Apparently.
No, I don't think that's very smart.
Do we
Okay,
have
it was kind of a,
questions? Do we have
no,
Instagram
I,
questions?
I I didn't put any Instagram questions. I'm sorry.
Are you done? So when,
I am. I
when?
am. I am. You know. I am.
Yeah, it hurts, doesn't it?
It does.
All your efforts, all your attempts at education, all your attempts at grooming, at everything. By the way, talking about grooming, I am impressed. I am impressed by how this community in general conducts itself on socials lately. I think we are more and more maturing in our engagement with professional entities. I mean, the oracles of this world. I think the tagging, unnecessarily tagging team members and stuff is at all-time low. And we're really glad, and I'm also really glad that in what 4 months we're doing English now, 5, 6.
Yeah.
I think I deleted 2 comments or 3 that were just intended to be serious, but were absolute terrible garbage with a link and shit. So our comment section is really clean. This afternoon we had a couple of scammers. Those we delete a lot, but that's not the community. So I think you guys are at your best behavior everywhere, and I think that is deserving of a compliment.
Absolutely. And
And
now I think of it, there is one guy I should give a shout out. I didn't mention him in the Dutch episode, and I should
mm,
do it here now. He actually he asked us about MiCA, what we just discussed.
huh,
And he was also questioning whether we should be worried when we have unhosted. Wait, let's just read it out. Well, it's in Dutch, so I need to make the translation. Guys, well, congrats with the new branding. It really looks very clean and more international. Nice, thanks, man. Something I was questioning is whether the latest MiCA regulations from the EU
mm,
should we be concerned with our unhosted wallets? So a letter in my case, I have my Cosy Quants on there, and I would like to keep it that way.
yeah. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't read the entire thing. I just read the excerpt because this is not finalized legislation yet. So with the busy schedule, I don't feel like going through all the original drafts. Those things are a pain in the ass to read. They are as thick as my leg, and it's just no. So I don't know what you know what it is. As long as Ethereum exists, it will be impossible to to outright ban this behavior. What they can do, and that's what you're seeing in the Netherlands already, is that the exchanges, so your fiat on and off, they will require you to verify that you are in fact the owner of an address you want to send this to. I was throwing a tantrum a couple of weeks back when I was attempting to start with Bitvavo and get an account going and send some QNT. Um, it was a pain in the fucking ass to get that going, and I stopped mid-process because I needed to make a screenshot. I needed to make a screen recording. I needed to make a picture with a post-it, with a mirror and my penis and all those things. It was ridiculous. It was terrible. But for exchanges, it will probably be a necessity. If you want to send QNT to a specific wallet, you're gonna need to specify where the wallet is, if it's yours, blah blah blah. And what happens from then is that their job is done, because then the taxman knows that you own that wallet, and from there on they can simply track it because yes, it's a public chain. Um, and with things like Seek, it is surprisingly simple to simply make a search and follow breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
And if your breadcrumbs end up at a tumbler where you randomize your Ethereum, you're just gonna get taxed for the entire lot,
Yeah.
and
Because
you're probably
once they
gonna get a
trace one
fine.
thing, they will trace everything. It's like poof.
Yeah,
You're
yeah. So I think that they can't ban wallets. I think they won't. I think self custody right now is, and now I'm going on my rant again. I think I think self custody is nice, but it's not the future. Maybe it is for some people, but it is not convenient. It is not convenient. It is not customer friendly. It is not easy. It is not safe. It is none of those things. And um, it's not the future. Not the way it is right now. It's a nice first iteration, but peak bull, you got to pay thousands of euros for a single transaction. People are going to make mistakes. People are going to lose their funds. Happens every single day. People lose keys. IDEX, 150k QNT, hasn't moved over a year. Why? Why? Because people lose their shit. People lose their keys. People lose their funds, etc. So there will be some, I will be one of them, that will be using those wallets for as long as they can, but eventually custody solutions where you do manage to a degree your own keys, probably with your digital identity or with your other form of legal ownership identity thing. Um, I think you will own everything like that, but we'll see. Tim, I'm done. Nah, it's the endless. Yeah, and then you need to write down your seed, and you need to write it in titanium, and then you need to store it in a fireproof safe in 27 different places, and blah blah blah. Otherwise, they're gonna drill your kneecaps. Come on, guys. Anyway, I'm exhausted. Is there anything else, Tim?
no, there is not. I'm really glad with this episode.
I am.
Garner needs a recovery, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. So everybody, stay Quamfy. Please don't let the price action fool you. Um, don't let all the feathers fool you. Um, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, etc., then it's probably utility. Um, I'd say hold on to your quantities. Not financial advice. We'll see you on the next show. Thank you for watching. Stay
Stay
comfy.
comfy.